Wage theft and job misclassification are forms of exploitation that plague the construction industry, where many unscrupulous employers take advantage of their employees. SMART is fighting wage theft from coast to coast, helping workers get the pay and treatment that they deserve. Let's hear about recent worker victories in Washington State and Virginia.
Wage theft is occurring everywhere in the construction industry, and employers will take advantage of those people that may not know what their rights are or have any idea of what prevailing wages are, and that's who they prey on. 360 Sheet Metal is a fabrication shop located in Vancouver, Washington, and they have been undercutting our contractors by paying poverty wages to workers that fabricate ductwork in the shop for projects all around the state of Oregon and Washington. 360 likes to pay their workers just above minimum wage. These workers were making around $12 to $15 an hour for most of them, fabricating ductwork in the shop. When we filed these complaints, prevailing wage rate was 66 and some change an hour. And in Washington, prevailing wage applies to fabrication of ductwork, and they refuse to pay prevailing wage for those workers in the shop. We have filed at a minimum of 10 prevailing wage complaints against him. Labor and Industries in Washington has only decided on 4 of those cases. And in those 4 cases, they found that he owed over $200,000 in back wages to 20 workers, and they assessed $115,000 in penalties for failing to pay prevailing wage in the shop.
Misclassification is a pretty rampant thing across the country, but what it does is that, our contractors have to abide by certain rules. They have to pay certain rates. They know what the rates and all are, so that's how they bid the projects. And what happens is if you had these low wage contractors come in and undercut everybody and get the project. So what it does is it takes man hours from the local. So what had happened is that this job only had a heavy highway determination. And the guys that were doing the work, they were doing some regular roofing work and metal roofing work. And come to light, they're under heavy highway, there is no sheet metal grade on there. So when these workers came to us about a complaint, we looked into it. Then we decided to make a complaint with the Department of Labor and state that there was wage theft on this particular project. They found that under the building wage determination, the guys weren't getting paid according to doing sheet metal work. So, we have contractors that do metal roofing and they pay the Davis-Bacon wages when they work on Davis-Bacon jobs. They pay it all the time, but especially on Davis-Bacon projects. So they were being underpaid roughly, it was about 60%. I think they were making 20 some dollars an hour. And, the rate at the time was 60 some dollars an hour. The final decision from DOL, it was noted that the back wages that were recovered was over $288,000 for 8 workers.